What's up, folks? So my bad. I ended up making a video of covering Bitcoin and Ethereum and what happened to the market yesterday, I believe. It was hella long because, of course, it was too much to cover, and I didn't really set myself, organize myself. But so before the market opens, let me something I was wondering. So we all been, or for people that have been in this market. We've been paying attention to this market because it's been flying since since 25, but in reality, ever since the this big drop that we have on 23, 22, whatnot was the biggest one, but now we ended up liquidating somewhat here. Now here, my indicator on this current drop that we just had because of the whole job loss and whatnot, we're in a very important area because I was wondering about this. If if the market has been going up just based on good data and earnings, because this year we really haven't had any rate cuts. So the only thing about it, in February we were at an all-time high in February. So if we would have kept with the data that we would have had, with the earnings that we would have had, that made all this market recover all this, if we would have sustained here, the market then technically would have been fucking on some stupid ass fucking numbers, right? If it wasn't for the tariffs. But because they use the tariffs to liquidate people and all that fucking bullshit, now they can actually, get up and put in their money again and all that crap and whatnot. But it's all about fucking timing because again, we were another all-time high area, and it was perfect. Think about it. It was Thursday, the last day of the month before we closed the month. We ended up getting Friday morning the bad news or whatnot, and that brought everything down again. You were having Ethereum on the monthly break a monthly resistance that it couldn't be broken ever since 24, I believe. Yeah, March 2024. And again, it was back up there after a long ass drop that everybody thought that was it for crypto. And again, it was all cause of tariffs. So the fact that it was coming up here, the fact that it was on Thursday, the fact that it was breaking this monthly resistance, it was all bullish. Even the S&P where it was hanging and everything. So the fact that they pulled this little, oh look, actually we do have fucking bad data. Which, if you know this, if you've been following the market and the data, you've been knowing that all these numbers they're manipulated. They're bullshit pretty much. Um, Pretty much a lot of people in the market have been known of this. How these numbers aren't really adding up, or it's all driven on tech earnings and shit like that or whatnot. So let's go back to the S&P 500. And yes, they all fucking fell at the same time. That's what I keep saying. The S&P 500 and crypto are synchronized. That's why you're seeing this. Otherwise, if Bitcoin would have gone down, you'd normally, oh, well, sold 200 million Bitcoin, or it's normally maybe influenced by if Tesla. It's like when Tesla bought Doge back in the days, the market fucking flew because of, or that he bought some or whatnot. But now there's so many fucking corporations fucking buying this shit that it doesn't even affect it. It doesn't even tickle it because it's all being manipulated. Um, so let's go back to, oh yeah, let's so look, it happened at the same time. Let's go to the forward candle. My fucking internet is slow. So look, forward candle. Let's go to Thursday. So it happened Thursday morning. The data came out at 5:30, and at 5:30 came up. So your first area to hang, the EMA indicator in the forward candle is telling you, hey, this is the area you need to hold. There's your first support right here in this data. Actually, you had this one right here, your 50%, and then you had this strong major support that you're hanging on, and this was the final warning over here or whatnot. And then after that, it was the Thursday. Your from your 10 o'clock. Your 10 o'clock was your first warning because that's the forward candle. Forward candle will close it, I think, at yeah, 10 o'clock. So the fact that at 10 o'clock it broke and it closed below, I was like, oh. And not even that, it was even telling you in the, well, let me see, right here, the 1 hour candle. So actually no, though up here, this. I was waiting for this. I had option on S&P 500. I had one right here. What was it? Yeah, I had one right here, and I made another one up here, and I made a couple options calls for Amazon, and I was at work, and I didn't wasn't live for the data, and it came out 5:30. So you would have known how the market would have reacted once the market would have opened, especially because it opens at 6:30 and we close at 4 candle at 6. Um, so you can see, you would have seen where we at right here, a 3 candle box. It was a perfect 3 candle up. We needed this 3 candle box to close above to signal for a fucking push on up, and continue with the trend. But it's normally we close at 10, so yeah, it's normally 7:45, 6, right? Yeah, 7:45 to 8:30, and then towards the end you want to see where the trend's gonna go, whatnot. And I was too focused on that I continued working. I didn't see. Well, actually, I did see. I saw when I saw 10 start doing that, going back to the same area. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna go on down. But and that was your sweet spot for the market to push on up, because um, earnings was gonna be released after the market closed, but the market closes at 1 technically, so it needs to then start pushing on up as the market gets excited. Something similar to this, that as the market is about to close, the market tends to pick up. Ignore the time, but that's what the market needs to do. But this is instead what the market doing. Instead of the market about to open, 6 in the morning, data came out, and it was bad, boom. And that's what happened right here too. 6 data came out of 6, probably 5:30, 6:30, or even 6, and then boom, it was bad. Or at 7 o'clock, and then boom, it was bad. So um, I didn't see here nothing about the job openings and all that bullshit. So here was the data came out at 5:30, and then doom, and I didn't, but I wasn't connecting. It wasn't. I was just working, so I was like, it's gonna make up once we get closer to 11. It's gonna start picking up because investors know the market's about to close and the earnings are gonna come out. But it is Amazon and Apple. I was going toward Amazon. I mean, Apple was sinking on Wednesday instead of pushing what everybody else flew. It was sinking, so that was another red flag that I didn't pay attention to. And Amazon, well, Amazon, it's not really a big dog like the ones that came out, which was your Microsoft, your um, Nvidia, especially Nvidia and whatnot. So that's why I was like, yo, I feel like this is gonna be they're gonna use this day to the move, your to throw you off. But again, I was too confident because on all these moves up here, I was fucking making stupid money with the market, whether it be with Palantir, Nvidia, whatnot. And then I was expecting to the market overnight did this. I was like, and I was up good option wise. But once, of course, it always does this. At nighttime, the market will recover going on down. And I could have gone down when the market opened right here at 6:30. But instead, I held it, I left it, and I lost a lot of money. Which I'm not mad because I know what I did wrong. And once I understand why the market went down and what time it went on, I think, okay, like it's my fault. But um, so now the market dropped, right? And this is when, instead of me getting too cocky with it and saying the market's gonna come out this and it's all about time and whatnot, I got too cocky. I could have just paused and then looked for the next sign, the next move, and this would have been the move. This Thursday would have been the move to me, and then I would have fucking I would have done a put for S&P 500 for a day, because I knew easily with the data within the week. I mean within the month, everything played out like, and then the trend lines. It was hanging on a trend line, on this trend that has been fucking hanging there for a minute. Let me take all this shit off real quick. But let me show you. See right here, we've been on this trend, and not just that. Then we've been on another major trend right here, another daily major trend. that we've been going on since all the way down here. Another connection, and here that's where we're currently right now. That's why, and then not just that, but then you have my indicator telling you, hey, this is your hard cushion. This is your hard support, just like right here. The market flew, came back down, tested that cushion, and it supported. So these next 2 weeks, especially this week, he needs to make it up and not fuck it up. Otherwise, the market is gonna tank even more, and your next drop is gonna be right here. Actually, your next drop is gonna be in between these two right here. So your current cushion right here that you're hanging on is this right here, but you're barely hanging on. And the moment you keep below this, especially day wise, if especially these next 2 days, we just keep below this green area, bad times right there. Or even at the end of the week, he needs to not fuck it up. Otherwise, he's causing this on purpose, and it's just a way to liquidate the market and do the drop. Instead of fucking Iran, instead of these bombs, instead of whatever they normally do to move the market down, he's doing these moves that people aren't really getting or whatnot. But I'm gonna do an update later on to really continue with this because I'm not trying to make these videos that long. So I'll catch up with you guys later.